Hello, financial investors, and welcome to the channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be taking a look at the four main indexes. We're then going to be taking a look at after-hour movement. Did the market go up? Did it go lower? We're going to look at the entire S&P 500 performance for the week. Jumping over, taking a look at financials, oil, the dollar, silver, gold, bonds, and ending it with mortgage rates. This is our weekly recap where we consolidate everything that took place this week. We put it in a video, and that way if there's any time where you want to take a look at what took place in a specific week in the market, for 2020 or 2019, I know I did a lot of these recordings back in 2019 up until about September, October, and that's when I kind of cut off. But I want to get back to this because I like to see the historical movement of the market and what sort of movement took place, what was the big scare for that week. So that is what we're going to be doing in today's video. If this is your first time here on the channel, I would really appreciate if you do hit that subscribe button below, right below this video. If you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit the thumbs up button below. And if you have any comments or questions going over anything in today's video, the stock market, dividends, personal finance, real estate, drop it into the comment section. I do read and reply to all your comments. And let's go ahead and get into the video. So we have our official red week in the market, and this is completely fine. We're down 1%, no biggie. We've been hit much harder, 2017, 2018. We had days where we lost 5% in a single day. It's really nice to see the market beginning to take a bit of a break. Over the past 6 months, this market has gone nowhere but up. There's been very low, very low instances where we had some negativity back since September. Look at this, just chugging higher. So having just 1 week there where we have some negative in the market, we have some pullback. That's good. I don't think the reason for the pullback was warranted. That's because this big scare with the coronavirus, but I don't think it's a big deal. There's much, the common cold, the flu has a much higher fatality rate versus the coronavirus. I think it has a 2 or 3% fatality, with what I think there's a low number of people that have died from it with versus the high amount that have been infected. So it's crazy, but I don't think it was warranted for the pullback in the market. But let me know in the comment section below, do you think it is a bigger deal, or do you think that the media sort of just hyping it up as they do with the Ebola, or just some other thing that takes place the same time every year, get people out of their house to get some flu shots? So S&P 500 down 1.03% in the 5-day, still in second place year to date, up 2%. The Dow Jones is in third place as far as performance of the three main indexes. That is up 1.58%. You can see some more negativity here within this. What was the difference between the S&P and the Dow Jones? Well, we had Boeing on the news. Their planes are going to be grounded just a little bit longer. They're also going to be taking out some debt, and that's going to be affecting them here in the short term. Saw them kind of moving lower for the week early on, and then Friday they kind of picked up in some green. So kind of interesting. I do see Boeing moving down. I see a lot of price targets around 280. Investors will really like it around $300. I think Boeing would be interesting, but I think it's a little bit of a risky company at this time until they kind of get their stuff together in the next year or two. So Dow Jones 1.22 down for the week. Year to date, third place at 1.58. Nasdaq is our winner. Currently, year to date, up 3.82%. It is also our winner in the performance for the week, only down 0.79. So here down 1.79. The Dow Jones down 1.22, and the S&P down 1.03 for the week. Now of the other main index. So the other main index here that we cover is the Russell 2000, and this is a good indicator of how we are doing nationally. Here within the United States, this is a lot of small, mid-cap companies. So some of the companies here, ABM Industries, 1-800-Flowers. We have, 1-800-Flowers right there at the top. These are a lot of very smaller cap companies. They don't have a whole lot of market capital, can't think of the word, but they're just more smaller US based companies, not so much on a national level such as your Procter and Gamble's, Johnson and Johnson's. So this is how we're doing locally. They are down 2.2% for the week, putting them into the negative for the year, down 0.37%. This is kind of an interesting one to kind of follow and see how the performance of the Russell kind of picks up in the future weeks. Does it move higher? Does it move lower? That'll be interesting. So in the after hours, the stock market continued to fall. You can see the S&P, the Dow Jones, and the Nasdaq down about 0.08 here in the after hours. Now the big movement this week, or this Friday, was just due to what was going on overseas in China. Now they've had reports and cases of it popping up in Washington, over in Texas, over in California, as travelers are making their way back from China earlier this month. They're kind of seeing this kind of get wild. Now, if you have a high immune system or just you're healthy, you're fit, this thing probably going to kind of blow over. You're not going to see much of it. You're going to see a lot of it hyped up here in the short term, but it'll kind of blow over, and then the market will sort of recover in the next week or two. But let's go ahead and proceed. 1 day change here. Boeing up 1.66% on the day. So very nice performance here out of Boeing. Intel blasted earnings. They did earnings here after hours on Thursday. They were up 5% there on Thursday after hours. Continue to move higher on Friday, additional 3%, putting them up for the day, 8.13%. Very nice movement there on Intel. Anyone who's bought this one maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, have held it since that point. Amazing performance. I remember when Intel was back in that $40 range. So really nice to see Intel moving higher, kind of getting with it. Now, other than that, you can see a lot of red out there. But if you were to look at one specific sector and say, hey, that has the majority green, what would it be? There's basically two down here in the defense. So we see Boeing, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Raytheon. These are very defensive, aerospace style companies, and also utilities. We see Duke Energy up 0.21. We can see NextEra Energy up 1.4. Southern Company, Consolidated Edison, and so on. Oil is also sort of on my radar. I've been watching oil get hammered this week, down 7% here. We'll look at oil real fast. 7.3% on the ETF that tracks the oil fund, USO. Very interesting. I already own Chevron. I'm actually really looking at how Exxon is going to be performing here. We can see over the past week, Exxon is down 3.63%, Chevron down 4.31%. Avi also losing out there. I posted over on Instagram today. I sold out of Avi. I've been seeing resistance 3 times with Avi, 3 or 4 times with Avi, right at that $90 mark. They could never break $90 and I believe 15 cents. So I went ahead, took profits, sold about $1,200 worth of Avi, and moved it into Waze, into General Parts, GPC, Genuine Parts, and Apple Hospitality. Not Apple Inc., but Apple Hospitality, the real estate investment trust. That was over on my IRA, over on Metal Edge. So I posted that over on Instagram. Financials also getting really hit this week. They did really well during their earnings season, kind of popped up, but they're kind of losing some of that steam. So JP Morgan down almost 3% on the week. Bank of America down 3.5 almost, and Wells Fargo in that same area down 3.41%. I read an article that was kind of getting floated around how the old CEO or someone within Wells Fargo will no longer be able to do something of the sorts. I didn't see the article. I didn't read into it. I just saw the headlines. I know there was some article out there related to Wells Fargo, and that's never good for them. So some of the biggest sectors out there, you can see as it kind of gets redder, it shows how that they got beat up here in the short term the most. So we see CVS Corporation down 6%, Avi, Merck, Amgen, Exxon, Chevron, Disney closing their location over in China just due to the coronavirus. So lots of red out there. Apple continuing to move higher, pushing now to $318. So oil down 7.6% on the week, down year to date, down 10.77%. Financials, we already saw all the big financials get hit, so this one is down 2.06. The dollar is moving higher for the week, just slightly, about 20 cents though. Started about 97.60, moved higher to about 97.89. So a little bit of over about 26 cents there in difference with that dollar just moving higher. We also saw silver and gold move higher. Generally, when you see the dollar move higher, I don't usually see silver and gold moving, but with the market the way it is, kind of get it into a scare factor. I think investors are kind of moving towards silver and gold. You can see a huge spike here on Friday alone. Nice spike up, continuing to finish stronger, up almost 2% there on Friday alone. Put it at 5-day change, up 0.54%. Gold making a nice, really nice recovery or just movement here this week, up 1% on the week. But here, just throughout the week, just positive, 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 positive. Nice spike here on Friday early morning and just kind of kept it throughout the day. Very nice. So 1% there on the 5-day. Year to date up 3.55%. Bonds continuing to move just slightly higher week after week. I think I do own still quite a bit of bonds over in my thrift savings plan. I know my 401k, I had shifted it to primarily a Vanguard institutional index fund, which is mainly just sort of growth with a yield attached to it. So I'm able to get some dividend yields paid out within my Roth 401k from work. And I haven't touched bonds besides my TSP in a little bit. And mortgage rates moving down this week from 3.84% last week to now 3.77. I know I'm getting a ton of offers in the mail for rates as low as 3.25 with APYs of 3.75. So if you have a mortgage higher than 4.25%, it may make sense to go out there, talk to your local loan officers, talk to your local credit union, see what rates they're offering. I have used better.com to get 2 of my refinances on my properties. For real estate, I'm looking at another deal now, trying to get financing for, not trying to get financing, but looking at just getting pre-approved because I'm going to be buying an additional, hopefully 2 more properties in 2020. I missed out. I didn't see anything popping for 2019. I'm really hoping to continue to progress and move my real estate business further here in 2020. So that is all I wanted to cover in today's video. Just a very quick going over the 4 main indexes, the movement in the after hours, the total performance of the S&P 500, what stocks were up and down using finviz.com, the movement within oil, financials, the dollar, silver, gold, bonds, and mortgage rates. So that is what we're going to be doing on a weekly basis, just to kind of vlog the style of the market, seeing what really kind of scared or hyped the market in a given week, and we'll kind of go from there. So if that is it, with that said, if you have not yet subscribed, I would really appreciate if you do hit that subscribe button below. If you did enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit the thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions for me, or just want to ask a question, just general, to the comment section, drop it in there. I see a lot of other subscribers, viewers answering other viewer and subscribers' questions, and I really like that, kind of building the community up. And that is going to wrap today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.